The global trade expansion gained strength in the course of 2005, and it continued to outpace global economic growth by a significant margin. The volume of goods traded between countries grew by 6%, according to the World Trade Organization. This calculation excludes the impact of price changes. WTO economists discussed the findings with journalists in Geneva.
Following a really quite outstanding year in 2004, performance was weaker in 2005. Growth actually had started to slow in the latter part of 2004, but did pick up again during 2005. I think the deceleration in trade growth affected most regions, with a more marked slowdown in imports for Europe, Asia and the United States. Very strong real export growth in China, 25%, and in South and Central America at around 10%.
At current prices, world merchandise trade surpassed the $10 trillion mark for the first time in 2005. Also on current prices, commercial services exports grew by 11%.
Developing countries, as taken as a group, their share in world merchandise exports exceeded 1/3 of world merchandise trade for the first time. I think that's a notable benchmark that has now been traversed.
As you know, at the end of May 2005, discussions started between the United States and the European Union on one side and China on the other side, and they came to a memorandum of understanding in order to reintroduce some self-restrictions on China's exports of textiles and clothing for the second half of 2005 and also for the years up to 2008. In the follow-up, in the second half of 2005, we see that the growth rates of textiles imports from China into the United States and the European Union started to slow down. So in this respect, we see an impact on the new introduction of new quotas. That's correct. In respect to electronic products, we have seen a revival of the electronic industry globally, seen a pickup in semiconductor shipments, PC shipments, mobile phones. All this strengthened compared to the weak periods, say 2000 after the crash.
For 2006, WTO economists expect a 7% growth in the volume of traded goods.
What we're looking at now, in terms of the business cycle indicators, principally, that we're looking at somewhat strengthened confidence for 2006, and the view that the world economy will continue to strengthen, and notwithstanding some of the downside risks that we have to take into account, that it is probable that global trade will expand roughly at the same rate observed in the second half of 2005, namely 7%.
The press release with additional information is available on the WTO website.